This is the Power Podcast. I'm your host and coach, Renee, and I'm on a mission to help you with your health, your nutrition, your fitness, and your mindset, and give you all the tools that you need to live a healthy, well-balanced life and be the best version of yourself. Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. Today's topic is about, it's getting real about what's actually happening to our health and what is actually happening to society and humans and health in general. And the scary thing is that we're in a world now where people are more obese than they've ever been, they're more unhealthy than they've ever been, there's more diseases than there's ever been, and obviously we're in a developing world, so that's a given. But why are people dying at the rate they're dying at, and why are people not actually doing anything about their health to prevent these diseases from happening? What they're doing is you can go to a pharmacy, and if you've got a sore back, rather than going, I need to go and start getting stronger and building muscle, it's like, oh, what pill can I take to stop the pain today? And then I'll just continue to keep sitting, continue to move. I'll just continue to do the things in life that are actually making me feel like this. So we're not changing our lifestyles. We're living in really lazy, sedentary lives currently, and we're not doing anything about our overall health, and it freaks me out. So I'm getting real today about what's actually happening with health and what people are not doing enough of. And the reason why the depression rate is so high, the anxiety rate is so high, is because we're not noticing a number of these things. Now, let's start with social media, because social media can be used for a positive thing, but it can also be quite a negative thing as well. And I say it can be positive because there are things that you can learn from social media, like people like myself putting out content out there to help people live healthier lifestyles. You can learn things about being more financially literate. You can learn more things about things that you really enjoy, like say you love decorating homes. You can learn more about decorating homes. But where social media can be really toxic and negative is when you have people on there promoting really unrealistic extreme diets. So diet extremists, the exercise extremists, the fashion extremists, the body image extremists, and all those people that are really, really extreme about certain ways of living that you then start to compare yourself against and think, oh, well, I need to be like them. I need to be like that person. I need to be doing what they're doing. I need to be pursuing the career they're pursuing because I want what they have. So you start to compare yourself a lot. Now, social media can also be really detrimental to your health because you find yourself scrolling, watching videos for a long period of time. A lot of these videos are pointless and like they're shit. You're watching shit. Every now and again, okay, if you need a little bit of a laugh, or sometimes, if you're sitting with a friend and you feel like having a laugh about something and you put on some funny TikTok page and you know they have funny videos and you sit there and you're laughing together, okay, that's cool, that's funny. But 5 hours a day, which is the common time people are spending on these platforms like TikTok and Instagram Reels or Facebook videos, people are spending 5 hours of their day on these social media platforms on average scrolling and watching shit. So within those 5 hours, you're not moving your body, most likely. You're probably associating the scrolling with watching something in the background as well. So you're probably watching either Netflix or the TV for more background noise. You're not learning how to just shut off and wind down and get yourself into a state of I'm ready to sleep, I'm ready to rest, I'm ready to recover. And you're also going to fall into that self-comparison risk as well, where you're watching these videos and you might be comparing yourself to other people's lives. That's where the depression can come into these side of things. But where the anxiety comes into these things is you're spending way too much time sitting and not moving enough and not getting your body moving, so you start to overthink and then you start to feel anxious. So social media can be so detrimental to one's health, and if you're going to use social media, use it responsibly, and if you can't, then you've got to try your goddamn hardest to create better habits around it so you don't fall into that minority of 5 hours of social media a day. 5 hours a day can go towards so much more. You could spend half an hour of that lifting heavy weights. You could spend an hour of that going outside. and doing some exercise, doing some walking. You could spend half an hour of that making lunch. You could spend half an hour of that prepping some food for the next couple of days. You could spend an hour of that doing some reading or learning or studying. So that 5 hours that you don't have time to do things in your day or your week of the things that you really want to do that are going to contribute to your overall health that you're not doing, well, there's your 5 hours. It's in your social media time. So see how social media can be so detrimental to one's health. The list can go on, but it really is, it's not going to help you in the long run if you're going to continue to spend your time scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Another thing that is causing us not to be the most healthiest beings is we're not connecting with people enough. Now, obviously, lockdown had a huge impact on that, and there was a lot more messaging and a lot more texting and whatnot going on. But instead of expressing your emotions verbally, like I feel this, or I feel sad, I feel really hurt, I feel angry, I feel so much love, I feel happy. Expressing how you feel makes you feel so incredibly empowered because you're acknowledging how you feel and you're acknowledging your emotions. As soon as you stop being in touch with yourself and stop being in touch and in tune with your emotions, and you start using little emojis to describe how you feel, you're not being in touch with yourself and you're not acknowledging your feelings. So all of this is bottling up within you, inside of you, and it's no wonder you're finding self-expression so hard, and it's no wonder you're feeling so anxious and your head's all over the place because you're not verbally actually having a conversation with somebody, or you're not verbally saying how you feel. Are you actually laughing at that message that someone sent to you, or are you just putting the laughing face in there to try and lift up the mood? You know, when was the last time you actually sat down and laughed so hard with someone that you both nearly wet your pants? Remember that feeling? That releases neurochemicals to the brain that make you feel awesome, make you feel happy, make you feel really, really good. And when was the last time you had a really, really good cry? Or when was the last time you, look, I know as a female you're told you must not get angry because you're a woman, but when was the last time you had a really good like a good scream, a good yell? When was the last time you did that? Obviously you don't want to be yelling at people because that can be upsetting, but when was the last time you really voiced how you felt out loud? I tell you what, it's really fucking empowering, and it feels incredibly good when you do. So being in touch and being in contact with people more when you have conversations is a lot more empowering, and it's so much better for your overall health, and it's something that we humans need. We need connection. Like I said, I know in lockdown times that was taken away from us, but the good news is that's a thing of the past now, and we have to work hard again to try and build up connections with people, because human connection is part of being human. It's what we need to survive. Without connection, it's very, very hard, and it's very, very hard to live a happy life when you aren't making those human connections with other humans, obviously, or whoever you want to make connections with. But human connection, one-on-one connection, super important, and validating your feelings is obviously very important, is what you can get from that as well. Now, this is the next one, and this is a really hard one because it's obvious that it's really hard when you work an office job. It's very hard to move your body more, and I know this because I work with so many different people, and a lot of these people that I work with do find it really hard to move their body because they are stuck at a desk all day. They're then put in meetings, they're put in courses, they're put in all sorts that they have to do at work that requires them to sit. But my question is, why are the workplaces not stepping up quick enough and fast enough and making changes in their workplace when it comes to wellness? We should be standing for at least 12 hours a day. And my mentor always said to me that if you can't stand for the majority of the day, you're not strong enough, and you need to work on that strength and work harder to get stronger to be able to stand. Humans need to be in the upright position because anatomically that is correct. We should be spending the majority of our time moving around. Humans are made to move, they're not made to sit. If you look at a human who doesn't move much and they sit all day, they most likely will have a really rounded back. They're compressing their spine, they probably get headaches, they probably suffer from tiredness, low energy, exhaustion, because they simply are not moving their body enough. They're not getting that blood flow, that consistent blood flow that your body needs They're not firing up their muscles. They're not getting their body into a state of stress. They're literally just sitting all day, driving to work, sitting at work, driving home, sitting on the couch, going to bed. This is the pattern that a lot of people fall into, and it is so dangerous because it is probably one of the worst things for your health that you could possibly encounter. So we need to stand more. And if you're really passionate about changing your life and looking after your health, or you're really passionate about health and you want to continue to make sure you are doing things to help and benefit you, then you need to be standing more. Hit that 12-hour stand goal. I make it a bloody priority that I am standing more than 12 hours a day. Some days it's 10 hours, and that's okay. I'm not going to beat myself up about it, but I know that making myself stand for the majority of my day and breaking up when I am sitting at my desk is going to help my health so much more. Or if you can't get up and you can't move, making the effort to just get up and down, do a couple of squats to get the blood flowing, do some stretches, go down and fill your water bottle up. Just do more movement in your day to day so that you are getting in more movement and you aren't sitting as long as that you currently are. The majority of people that suffer from back pain, it's not because, you've got a crook back. It's not because you were born that way. Some people, yes, but the majority of you, it's because you're not strong enough. It's because you're not moving enough. It's because you're sedentary for too long, and you're most likely not doing any strength training. Strength training is the key to overall health. We should be all strength training at least twice a week. We should be strength training at least twice a week minimum. It should be like brushing your teeth for people, a non-negotiable, and something we do every week to contribute to overall health. When you type in the word health in Google, you know what you get? You get, make sure you've got your immunizations for all these diseases. Make sure you've seen your doctor. Take these pills. Here's this medicine. Have you seen a doctor lately? But there's nothing really in there about, are you eating enough protein? Are you exercising? Are you lifting heavy weights? What are you doing to look after your mental health? It's just all very like medical, and I get it. It is part of health, but why is my industry being left out? I understand that there are people in this industry that have given it a bad rap, like the extremists when it comes to dieting, but there are extremists when it comes to doctors out there as well. So why isn't health and fitness being recognized as one of the most important, number one things that we should be doing for our health? So this is what I'm here to do. I'm here to encourage every single person out there to start making a change for your health and start taking action for your health. Don't rely on a pill. Don't rely on a surgery list. Start making the effort to make the change. Take action to make change. To live a long, healthy life that you feel happy with. And a long, healthy life that you can do anything with, because it all starts with our health. If you want to be better in your job, if you want to make more money, if you want to be more confident, if you want to be more motivated, by the way, motivation is a byproduct of the action you take. So, you can't just wake up with motivation one day. And if you want to, do something different with your life, even having children, you need to be healthy and strong first. You need to make sure you are healthy, because it is going to make everything else in your life flow incredibly well. I tell you this, it will. I have seen it with clients before, people that have never exercised in their life. They start training, and then all of a sudden they start signing up for courses, changing jobs, leaving relationships, doing all sorts of things in their life that they never once thought that they could, because they were stuck. And then when they started focusing on their health, they started eating healthier, they started moving their body, so therefore all of their bodily organs were functioning correctly. They were digesting food better, they were metabolizing better, they were sleeping better, they were doing all these things that contribute to overall health so much better that everything else started flowing. Their mindset was better, so the thought process was better, so then the action they took was better for them in their life. I've seen people lose 13 kilos and change their career, go to uni at the age of 30 or the age of 40 even. I've seen people do so much incredibly empowering things just from starting a regular exercise routine and making changes to their nutrition and their overall habits. because it all starts with health. If you imagine your life as like a triangle, right? You've got this like this ladder of life, right? This triangle. At the very top of the triangle is your health. You and your health comes first. Everything else comes under that. So you're at the top of the triangle with your health. Under that comes family. Then it comes wealth creation. Whatever your values are will fill up the rest of your triangle. But number one for every single person in this world needs to be health, so that everything else you value and love in life is going to come under that triangle and flow so magically. But health is number one. Without your health, it's very hard. It's very, very hard. If you want to struggle to get out of bed, if you want to struggle to walk, if you want to struggle to breathe, then continue living the unhealthy life that you're living. I know that sounds harsh, but you can make change. You just have to take that action. And that action can be less social media, more human connection, more validating feelings, more movement, lifting heavy weights. Stop falling into these traps of dieting regimes and crazy diet plans that have you giving up every single thing that is in existence, and you're only eating one particular whole food group of food, like meat. I get it. I get the carnivore diet. I understand why people are loving this diet, because they are getting more protein in their diet. They are getting a lot of nutrients from organ meat. I get that. But that's fucking extreme. It's really fucking extreme. And people don't need to be going that extreme. There are things we can adopt and adapt from each diet type out there, but we should not be defining ourselves as these diet types and going to extremes. We just need to find balance with it. So, side note there, you don't need to go and be carnivore to get more protein into your diet. Just put more organ meat into your food. And if you don't like organ meat like me, but know the benefits of liver to be incredibly beneficial, have it in capsule form, in powder form, or mince it up into your mince and make a cottage pie. But you don't need to sit on TikTok and eat a raw testicle. It's foul. It's, ugh. Anyway, that was just a side note. You don't need about not being extreme, but focusing on your health is key and priority. And I think if there's anything that you can do right now in this moment and moving forward, is start setting some goals for your health. Don't wait for the new year. Don't wait till after Christmas. Start yesterday. The best time to focus on your health is every single day of the week, every single day of the year. There should be never a day where you are not giving a fuck about you and your health. Looking after you, looking after your health, and showing up for yourself is a form of self-respect. So respect yourself more and give your body, give your soul, and give your mind what it really, really wants. And I'll tell you this, honesty is one of the best things that we can give ourselves. Now, I had to get honest with myself before I did this podcast and made a post on Instagram today about the unpopular opinions of health, because I was getting in my head about, people are going to think that you're, too much saying all that. But you know what? I'm here to help people, and I want to help people. So I need to start being more honest, and I need to start getting a bit more raw and real. And I got real with myself about doing that, and I had to be honest with myself about doing that. So I'm glad I did, because now I feel really, really awesome that I have put it out there and I have said this podcast today. I just want more people to live healthy lifestyles. I just want more people to be healthy. And I want people to live longer, and I want people to thrive and be happy and treat people with kindness. And I know that can be achievable if more people just start putting more focus and energy into their health and less time and energy into what they're drinking on the weekend, or where can they get vape juice from, or how many cigarettes they smoke in a week, or when's the next party. Like, I get a little bit of that's fun, but guys, come on. Do you want to live forever? Do you want to live disease-free? Do you want to live a life where you can move and you're not struggling to get out of bed? Do you want to live a life that you feel empowered by? Then you need to focus on your health, and you need to put your health first, and you need to start being honest with yourself and ask yourself questions. And if your answer is no, then you need to roll with it. It took me a long time to do this, but there was a while there where I felt like saying yes to going to like drinks and barbecues that involve drinking and just like casual drinks. It took me a while before I admitted to myself that I really just did not enjoy drinking, and I just did not enjoy doing that. I don't enjoy going to bars. I don't enjoy dancing in town unless it's like a singer that I love. But I don't enjoy doing all that, and I never did. And I had to get real raw and honest with myself, and I had to really admit this, and it was hard to say, but I really only used to do that shit to fit in, and to feel like I fit in, and to feel like I was like everyone else. I deep down knew that I really didn't like it. And I remember at a really young age, I used to get a little bit of shit for not wanting to drink. I'd get called a nana. For fuck's sake, I was 15. You don't need to be doing that shit at 15. When I look back, I wish I just focused more on my studies. Anyway, this is my journal reflections coming out in this podcast right now, but I'm just saying how like amazing honesty is for your mental health, and how amazing honesty is for your mindset, and being honest with yourself about what you really want, and honoring that. So a lot of the times now when things involve drinking, I probably won't go, and I will say no, because I don't enjoy that. I don't enjoy sitting at a table and just drinking for the sake of drinking. And it's okay if some people do, but I personally really, really don't enjoy doing that. I really, really don't. And if I'm doing it, it's because I really want to, and I will probably have a couple glasses of champagne and leave it at that. Like at my wedding, I had champagne because I love a good glass of champagne. It's tasty, it's delicious, but if I'm being really honest, I always only ever did it to fit in and to be like cool, and because that's what you thought was cool, when I really should have just truly been myself the whole time. But early 20s, young teens, you do a lot to fit in, and and that was my fitting in. And what I should have done was left school, and the group that I was associating myself with, I should have left them a lot earlier than what I did. Like there was this young group of guys, and they were really they were terrible teenagers, like getting into really bad things, like stealing cars and treating their girlfriends like shit, and binge drinking. And then they started doing getting into drugs and things like that, as I'm sure a lot of young people have witnessed in their time. And so I should have realized then that I should have just got a one-way ticket, gone to the USA, and done a performing arts course. That's what I really wanted to do. But anyway, you live and you learn, and I feel like everything happens for a reason in life, and everything I've gone through and I've learned, I can then help everyone else unpack and discover and learn from as well. So, life is really what you make it. If you focus on your health and you put what you want first, you're going to be so much happier. You're not going to be as depressed. You're going to have less anxiety, because you're purely just being you. And I honestly, wholeheartedly say that it took me being super honest with myself and putting my health and what I want first to really start feeling this way, and just being so content and happy with life. That went on a real tangent, but being honest feels so good. It's so empowering. I really love that feeling of honesty. Wow, it's good. I encourage you all to do it too. And saying it out loud is even scarier, if I'm honest. It's even scarier. Wow. Okay, there you go. You just learned a few things about me. I hope this podcast has helped you. I hope you are feeling empowered. I hope you're feeling a little bit, eager to be honest with yourself too. Maybe you want to go and grab a notebook and pen, or when you get home, grab a notebook and pen and just start writing out some honest truths about how you feel and what you want, and being honest with yourself, and just trying your hardest to live a more healthy life. Health, remember, doesn't just mean medicine, immunizations, and seeing a doctor. Health is movement. Health is food. Health is mental. Health is mindset. Health is how you feel. That is all health. So take that and roll with it. Do what you want with it. And thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate those who are listening. I do see the downloads. I do see how many people are listening, and it's really exciting to see more people listening. So thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, morning, whenever it is that you're listening to this podcast. And I really look forward to having you listen in the next one. Season 3 is going to be a banger. And I'm really excited to bring you season 3. That's for sure. It's exciting.